Hey everyone, so I thought seeing as you're all so interested in gut health, I would do a second part to the video to go into a little bit more detail and give you some more tips on how you can improve your gut health. So first, let's talk about food compatibility and combinations. According to Ayurveda, different food has different energies, different qualities when it's digested in your body. And so when we combine too many of them together, it can cause problems in our tummy. Ayurveda says that each food actually has its own taste, which is called rasa. It has a heating or cooling energy, which is your virya, and a post-digestive effect on the body, which is vipaka. So when two or more foods that you're eating have different post-digestive effects, have different energies related to it, then when they combine in your tummy, they can cause discomfort and they can overload your gut, which means that it won't digest the food properly. And therefore you get indigestion, discomfort, and it can actually dampen your digestive abilities and your digestive enzymes too. The main combination that is frowned upon is mixing fruit with pretty much anything. In Ayurveda, it says that fruit should be eaten alone because it digests a lot faster than grains or lentils or any other food really. So if you mix fruit with something like a grain, your body is trying to digest this fast, but it can't because it's combined with a grain which takes a lot longer to digest. So the fruit will stay in your stomach a lot longer than necessary, which means that it will start fermenting in your stomach, producing gases and causing the discomfort that you probably feel afterwards. Another combination that is not recommended is banana and milk. Now that's quite a usual combination, especially in smoothies, but Ayurveda says it actually causes the buildup of mucus, congestion, coughs and colds, basically anything to do with your respiratory system. Now there are quite a few specific food combinations that are not recommended. The easiest ones to be aware of is not to mix raw and cooked food together, eating fruit by itself, avoid eating leftovers and freshly cooked food together, and then it gets a little bit more specific, like mixing beans with milk or yogurt, or mixing nightshades with dairy products, or even mixing radishes with raisins. Now that's not a combination I've used, but I imagine it could taste quite nice in a salad. But don't do it. As you can see, dairy doesn't really mix well with many of these items, which means it may be beneficial for you to have dairy alternatives in your fridge to be able to cook with a lot more variety. Today's video is sponsored by our wonderful friends at Thryve. If you've had trouble focusing or had low energy, bloating or constipation, maintaining a healthy weight or having a weak immune system, or even skin blemishes like eczema or acne, you may be surprised to hear that it may be your gut that needs help. Our gut communicates to our brain through nerves and hormones. And when our gut health is poor, it can directly contribute to all of these health conditions. Thankfully, we can fix a lot of these conditions through a better diet and the right probiotics. Thryve makes this process really simple by offering an at-home gut test. So you can know the state of your gut health, but also what problems it may be causing. Thryve will also then use your results to develop custom probiotics specifically for your gut. These aren't just one-size-fits-all probiotics that you can get at the grocery store. They are personalized specifically to you based on your results. So you simply just order a test online and it will ship straight to your door. You activate your kit and complete the test and return it. You'll get the results straight to your phone and you can use the Thryve app to receive digital results. Once you receive your results, you get a personalized food plan to help build the healthy bacteria in your gut and improve your microbiome, as well as the personalized probiotics to help heal your gut. I really appreciate Thryve because the test gets sent straight to your door and the results straight to your phone. It makes it simple and easy. So if you want to start taking control of your gut health, go to trythryve.com/Radhi. That's trythryve.com/Radhi. And you get 50% off when you order. Take the steps you need to start taking your health into your own hands. When you don't get enough sleep, your hormones become imbalanced. One of the issues with increased stress and increased cortisol is that it can actually cause leaky gut. This means that the food or the toxins that are inside of your gut end up leaking out into the bloodstream. This can cause bloating, inflammation, stomach pains, and can affect your gut microbiome too. Another recommendation to do with sleep is to be sleeping on your left side. Sleeping on your left side allows gravity to do its work. It encourages food to move from the stomach to the small intestine to the large intestine and eventually to the colon to be ready to eliminate for when you wake up. This prevents food from staying in your gut from too long, and like I said before, it avoids it from fermenting in your stomach, producing toxins, which leads to gas and bloating and a change in pH levels in your stomach too. Now let's talk about antibiotics. Your gut microbiome, also known as your gut flora, also known is those little bacteria that live in your gut can be affected by so many different factors and is actually different for each individual. The type of bacteria we all have in our stomach is completely unique to us. Your microbiome has good and bad bacteria. Now, when there's an imbalance and there's more bad bacteria than good, it causes inflammation, affects your gut lining, but also your digestion is related to your mood, to your brain, and other parts of the body. So just having an imbalance in your gut bacteria can affect your entire body. Now, if you've ever had an infection, an ear infection, a chest infection, a UTI, you've probably been prescribed antibiotics. Now, the problem with antibiotics is that it does get rid of the bad bacteria, but it's not able to differentiate between the good and the bad bacteria in your gut. And so it actually ends up killing a lot of the good bacteria too. Which is why sometimes after you've had antibiotics, you may notice your gut feels different. You may notice you're a lot more sensitive to things. You may notice things are not digesting as well. So one may ask, how might I replenish my gut microbe and increase my good bacteria? Fabulous question! Pre and probiotics are a great start. But what's the difference between the two? Prebiotics are substances found mostly in plant-based foods. They provide sustenance for the good bacteria in your gut and encourage their growth and enhance the function too. So I guess you could say that prebiotics are almost like a multivitamin for your gut bacteria. Where might I find prebiotics? Gosh, the questions are just rolling in for this one, aren't they? Prebiotics are found in dietary fiber. There are many sources of fiber within our diet, but it's recommended that plants are the best source because it also contains vitamins and minerals that our body needs too. Foods like apples, berries, citrus fruits, cranberries, mushrooms, beetroots, and even grains like oats and wheat, rye, and barley. Now, you can get prebiotic supplements, but it's just not as effective as having them fresh in your fruits, vegetables, and grains. So really, all you need to do is have a wide variety, a rainbow of colored fruits and vegetables in your diet that brings all the vitamins, minerals, and fiber that you need to keep your prebiotic game strong. So then, what are probiotics? Fantastic question again. Probiotics are foods and supplements that actually contain live bacteria. They help maintain the right acidity to keep the bacteria nourished and flourishing, and helps the process of breaking down food, making it more efficient. It also multiplies the good bacteria in your gut. There are lots of foods which are considered to be probiotics, especially fermented foods like tempeh, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, miso, and lots more. You can also get probiotic supplements, and it's recommended to take probiotics during your course of antibiotics and after. If you're in the UK, I love to use Simprov. It's a liquid probiotic, and I found it was really useful for me, and I loved it. It was probably my favorite brand there. And in the US, I've used Seed capsules, and there's Mary Ruth's, which is the liquid form. I almost think liquid form is better sometimes with a lot of medications or supplements because it absorbs into the body faster without having a capsule around it to break through to get to the ingredients that you want. So rather than worrying about what your bad bacteria is doing, let's just work on overpowering it with the good bacteria. So work on resetting your gut flora and increasing the good bacteria through pre and probiotics. Next up, let's talk about seasonal eating. We are all in tune with nature, whether we realize it or not. Our body adapts to the climate that we're in, and so it only makes sense to eat foods that are grown in the climate too. Now, if we're eating lots of foods that have been on planes or trucks and eventually got to where we are, but have been grown in a different climate, if we eat too many of them, it can also affect our gut flora because our body is ready to receive what nature is providing around us. It has adapted for it. And then we're feeding it things which our gut is not necessarily ready for at that time or in that season. Now, it can be a little bit difficult because these days we get exotic fruits from everywhere. We get vegetables from everywhere. There's so much imported, and often we don't even know what's in season. But there's so many resources online, and I'll put some in the caption below, which tells you what is seasonal for where you are living. Also, just turn up to a farmer's market. Farmers are always growing whatever is in season, and so having a look around, seeing what's available there will give you a good idea on what your body probably needs at that time. Chewing your food properly. Now, in Ayurveda, a golden rule is to make sure you chew your food 32 times. Chewing your food is the first step in our digestive process. When we start to chew our food, it sends a signal to our brain to start producing all the enzymes and acid that we need to digest our food properly. If we don't chew our food properly, it just leaves more work for the stomach to do. And not only that, if we haven't been chewing, the right amount of acid and the right amount of enzymes are not produced. So not only are we overloading the stomach, we haven't even given it a chance to produce the acids and the enzymes that that it needs to digest what we are giving it. And so we just end up overloading our stomach, and it finds it really, really difficult to digest the food properly, leading to fermentation in the stomach and eventually toxins being produced, leading to a lot of discomfort in our tummy. Now, if you've noticed a lot of discomfort in your tummy lately, or you found it really difficult to digest, your bowels are all over the place, I would really recommend trying to eat just cooked foods. Avoid eating too much raw foods during this time until your gut feels better. If you think about it, when we are cooking food, it's almost like digesting the food outside of our tummy before it enters, which means by the time it gets to your tummy, it's in a much better state or a much easier state to digest. Now, like I said, all of our guts are different, just like we are so different. And so it may take a bit of trial and error. You may have to try some of these things or some of the recommendations from Gut Health Part 1 and see what works for you. And a lot of these are long-term things, like prebiotics and probiotics will take some time to work. Usually I think it's about a 30-day recommendation of taking it regularly. Regularity is so important, and whether that's in your lifestyle habits like sleep that we spoke about, or whether it's in taking these supplements regularly, I think that makes a big difference in allowing your gut to know what's coming and also allowing your gut to feel like it has a regular pattern too. So I hope this was useful. Please let me know if you do try any of these tips and if they work for you. I love receiving feedback. And also in the comments, let me know what else you do to improve your gut health. I would love to learn myself. Sending you all so much love and gratitude, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. How do I watch more of your videos though? Funny you asked that. I was just about to tell you to subscribe to my channel. You'll get a notification when I release new videos, and it would just make Radhi so happy. Oh, me. I'm talking first person already, aren't I? And it would just make me so happy to see you all and see what you're actually interested in. So go ahead, subscribe and leave a comment so I can get to know you, just as you're getting to know me.